week on Storyboard, we speak to Jane Lin-Baden, CEO Isobar APAC, about the changes that she sees in the way in which a digital agency is perceived today. Ford has launched a new campaign focusing on safety of all passengers, whether in the front of the car or the rear. We speak to Rahul Gautam, Vice President Marketing Ford India, about this new campaign. An IPL season is on. Intex Technologies, the owners of Gujarat Lions, have launched a new campaign for their product, Intex Aqua Lions 4G. What is this campaign all about? We find out in today's notice board and also speak to Keshav Bansal, Director Intex Technologies and owner of Gujarat Lions, and Hemant Mishra, CEO Publicis Capital. Hello and welcome to Storyboard. This is Shibani Gharat. The digital agency has grown from being a specialist to being an integral part of the overall offering, feels Jane Lin-Baden, CEO Isobar APAC. With this, the problem for her agency has become complex. When Storyboard editor Anant Rangaswamy asked her, "Who is your competition?" she replied saying it is everyone from a consultancy to a pure traditional creative agency. So what is her strategy in this complex market? Let's hear this conversation to find out.
Jane, it's increasingly difficult for marketers to understand what various companies do nowadays. Earlier it was, you put advertising agencies, the creative agencies were in a box, the media agencies were in a box, and then you had the digital agencies. Now there's so much overlap between what you do and what a creative agency does. So what is your sense of who your competition is?
I think before I talk about competition, I want to talk about our heritage. Right. Every agency has a personality and heritage and DNA. So for Isobar, the DNA is very clear. It's digital. This is where we start, we go, we grow. But I think digital has grown from a specialty into an integral part of the overall offering. But it's a very important integral part for brands. Right. Because every brand is trying to go through the digital transformation. Absolutely. Right? So digital agency needs to play a role of working on that transformation, rather than thinking about, okay, I'm just about a digital communication. Right. So for me, digital is a total offering. It's an integrated offering. Right. So that is something we look at that. Based on that including of a digital marketing, digital ecosystem, and digital product. So it's not just about digital communication.
So who is your competition then? It only makes life more complicated. Who is your competition?
We have lots of competitors out there. I mean, we have a consulting company as a competitor. We have a pure traditional creative agency, if you would say them as a competitors. We have a media. But to me, it's not relevant, honestly. I think competition is something we create boundary for ourselves. Right. But most important is what is the service we provide to the client. So it can be thousands of competitors there, and none of them is relevant. Right. So I would like to focus on whom we want to become, rather than whom I'm competing today. Okay.
Now I'll tell you where the complication comes in this. Yeah. At the client end, they're used to dealing with certain boxes of vendors. So marketer says,
it's about time to change.
So now, if you come up with a solution, who gives you a brief? Who picks up the phone and says, I want to talk to Isobar? Why does he think of Isobar? Right. Because in the old culture, the marketer would say, call my ad agency or call for a pitch of advertising agencies. In this case, who's going to call you?
Right. Yeah. We have clients call us with open brief. Right. It's about their business challenge, not about communication. Right. And I would like to have more of such clients because they care about their business change. They don't care. They don't look at digital as a channel. If a clients come to us say that I want digital as a channel, that's fine. But we think they are losing a big opportunity. So we have clients coming, call us into, okay, I want to have a digital spend from 0 to, 30 and 40%, but I want you to work with the larger resources, and I want you to be a lead agency. That's what we are dealing with. So that's where I see that the client should be working with Isobar. And I think, in fact, Isobar works as Isobar Group. It's not only a single agency. We have a few agencies working together as a group and provide a total solution into the market. So I would like to see client looking at us, okay, I want to have a problem solver partner together with me who knows digital very well but grow beyond digital, and they should come to Isobar.
Actually, the clients are used to payment compensation structure.
Yeah.
When it comes to traditional, whether it's creative or media or whatever, there was a formula.
Yeah.
But now when you create something like, say, your drive mode or your tag, it's a new paradigm. It's a new kind of billing. So tell me how that works.
Okay, so first of all, I think the traditional way of working on, no matter it's a fee, agency, FT, it all has its own merit. Because client has a fixed set of the work and problem they need to solve. Right. They need great people to work on, and that will happen and will stay there forever. But because of digitalization, there are lots of questions clients have no answer, and they need to experiment. They need people who understand how to run lab for them. And how do you put the price tag to a lab? And that's where we are good at, how to run a lab together with client on coming up with new things. In some of the market, those things are compensated through revenue sharing. We produce something and client sells.
Can you give me a few examples?
For example, in China, we are working with kids apparel brands, and what we do is we co-design product, and then we sell for the clients, and we take commission based on the revenue sale. It's great because we like to take on responsibility. We believe in what we can create for clients. So revenue sharing could be one. Two is really going to product design. Like in Australia, we do a product design together with client. And client took that as a prototype and they doing the mass production. And that's one way of running almost like a design agency within brands. So there are multiple ways and we can be compensated.
Okay, now I'm going to come to a sort of category problem. There's got not a category issue, not Isobar really. A lot of the digital companies, they do some amazing work like this work, which wins at awards, wins everywhere. But do they move the needle as far as the client's bottom line is concerned?
Okay.
Are you falling into a trap over there of saying, we'll become cool and we'll become sexy and then really not move the needle?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, and I think this question should be asked by agency to themselves, every single agency. So my personal belief is any agency work needs to contribute to the business value. Right? But we are in a creative world that we need to show our creativity. But we should never work for fame, not for good. Because anything is triggered by winning a war alone. It's a selfishness because we are not contributing to brand.
Right.
But we do have brands who are willing to open up the platform to do the experiment. Clients love experiment because they themselves want to think beyond their own limitation. So they work with agencies. So the way we look at from the Isobar perspective is if we do anything that is experiment, any of the award that talk about experiment innovation, great, you submit into those innovation award because they are motivating for experiment. But we should never do any fake or stank work and pretending they have a huge influence and actually is only experiment. That isn't something that we never promote in the group, and I personally don't believe that's right.
So finally I want to ask you, you've come to India. What is your focus on this India trip? What do you expect to achieve in India? Okay,
my focus on the trip is really to work with the teams here to map out what should we focus for the market, because India market is fascinating. I'm so blown away by many of the things happen here, but we need to have a focus because we grow through merger acquisition and organic, and investment need to go to the area for future. So my purpose here is to understand, align with the team, what should be our future investment going to, and that's where we're going to back up with the full speed. The second thing is to take on the India and bring that outside India. Now, India itself has a lot of things going on that outside India countries can learn and see that. But at the same time, India can learn from the other countries. So my role here is to work with the team on what happens outside India. For example, in China, what can we do there and to take it back and see how can we accelerate the progress here. Yeah.
And tell me about some work you've seen from your India office that has interested you or you think is very good.
Yeah. Well, I think the India office, we have 3 agencies.
Right.
And we have Isobar, India, very good at media technology. We have Fractaling, which is the leading design. And we also have Watts Consult, is really great in social. They all have very big body of the work. I think Isobar in India has just recently also won a lot of awards. And that's where we see that we need to progress. And Watts Consult also did a fabulous job with Mother Dairy and also with Touch in terms of their agility in social. And I think that's where we want to get more. And I want to talk about fractaling, because there is no such agency in Indian market has a super leading design agency. And I believe India is right on focusing on design, because only when the market starts talking about design, the market is truly respect consumer. The spirit of a design is about consumer at the centric. So I have a big hope on the combination of our three agencies and really play up on the design part in the market.
Okay, so when will you be here next? And what are the changes you would like to see in India by then?
Okay, well, I hope to come back next week, but I won't be able to come back next week. But I do want to come back next time, and I can go to the other city. We have office in Bangalore and Delhi. I want to go there and to see the market there. But what I like to see a change in terms of our agency is that we really play this group very well in the market. I think every single agency is known in the market, but we need to play this Isobar group better. We are very good at hunting as a pack in many of the key markets, and that's why we become market leader. And I think we can play this very well in India. So next time when I come back, I like to see this Isobar group being known by many of the clients who don't know. They could give us a big brief and they know this is my go-to agency.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It is time for us to take a short break. When we return, we get to see the new campaign for Ford India and also speak to Rahul Gautam, Vice President Marketing Ford India, about why the company has created a campaign focusing on passenger safety.